In this last video of this module, I am going to talk a little bit about some tips and tricks and best practices for transferring data using the Artec LEO Scanner. In our experience, the data transfer process is where most of the headache is when you are adopting an Artec LEO Scanner into your leak repair process. And the reason for that is because it can take longer than people expect, or they're using unstable networks and it causes issues. And anyways, it's typically the biggest single pain point of the whole 3D scanning process. So I want to give you a couple of tips that will help it be as pain-free as possible. So first off, as I mentioned, we like using the Artec Cloud for our data transfer, and there's a few reasons for that. The Artec Cloud, once it's fully uploaded, all the files that you need to work on that scan are there. So it functions seamlessly. The only thing with the Artec Cloud is that it can take a little while to upload. So we recommend you connect to a stable network. While it's very tempting to connect to a mobile hotspot and try and upload it from there, we've seen it over and over again where a technician tries that, they're waiting for an hour, maybe 2 hours, and then they decide to abandon ship, head back to a hotel, and try and upload it from there. I do want to talk about that a little bit too. Hotel Wi-Fi networks can be notoriously slow. So while some people do use them, they can often be slower than you would expect, and it can also cause a bit of headache. So on that note, what I want to, I think the biggest single thing that you need to consider, aside from having a stable network when scanning or when uploading, is the size of your scans. So typically when somebody's new with the Artec LEO Scanner, they way overscan. They take, it takes too long to scan, and they end up collecting way too much data. So the way this scanner works is it's taken a whole bunch of images, and every image makes that file bigger. So if you're standing in one spot and you're collecting the same image over and over again, your file is getting bigger, but you're not getting any more meaningful data. So I always like to challenge technicians to try and keep their scans under 5 gigabytes. And if they're over 5 gigabytes, try and rescan it. Usually your second or third scan are going to be significantly smaller than your first one. So I would not hesitate from rescanning, because it's going to take you a couple of minutes instead of potentially hours waiting for a scan that's too big to upload. So what I would do is scan it. If it's under 5 gigabytes, you're probably good to go, but you can always try and challenge yourself to get that file size even smaller, because it will make a big difference when it comes to uploading. So on the LEO Scanner interface, it shows you how big your scan file is, and so I challenge you to try and keep it low. If it's too big, rescan. Now, in some instances, there is a you'll be scanning a huge object, and it's just inevitable that the file size is going to be over 5 gigabytes. In that case, I often recommend breaking up your scan into multiple scans. So we went into, I showed you how on my valve scan that I took previously in the course, how you can overlap from one side to the next and stitch stuff together on the computer. So if you're scanning something that's really large, I would not hesitate to do that process as many times as needed to break your scan up into some smaller chunks, which will allow you to upload those chunks independent of one another. And ultimately, that's going to be a more stable upload process, and it's potentially going to be faster. So, so if you think the scan is going to be really big, or you're scanning a huge object, don't be afraid to create multiple scans or multiple projects. Get enough overlap, and then the engineers can stitch that all together on the computer, and there's not going to be any issues. So, one final thing that I wanted to talk about on the scanner itself is that if you're wanting to keep your file size down, I typically find that the best way to do that is to reduce the frame rate on the scanner itself. So in order to do that, you click on the settings button on the scanner, and you'll go down to where it shows frame rate, and then there you can reduce that to a lower value. By default, it's set to 40 frames a second, but in a lot of cases, you can reduce that to 20 frames a second and still have a great scanning experience. Like I said, default 40 is typically pretty good, but you can probably reduce that, and it's gonna cut your file size down significantly. The only other last remaining tip that I wanted to give you is that if you are transferring data from the scanner onto your computer using an Ethernet cord or Wi-Fi like I showed you previously, and then you want to share that project, what you're going to want to do if you're not using the cloud is you want to make sure that you zip all the contents of that folder into a zip file, and then upload the zip file to whatever OneDrive, Dropbox, whatever it is that you're using to share your scan. There's a whole bunch of different files that these scanners use, and they have their own unique file structure in order to be able to open the scan. And if any of the pieces go missing, then it will corrupt your scan file. So in order to secure your file structure and all the scans that you need to transfer, make sure that you zip the file folder, then upload the zipped folder to your preferred cloud-based storage system.